Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Craig here. Look, I've got Ryan. My Place. Hotel Conference 2024. Great convention. Very impressed with your
It's been
team.
a lot of fun so far.
It has been. You're getting closer and closer to that magical number of 100.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 73 hotels, I believe, open?
74 open today.
Open.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got a new development deal for 9 more in
Right.
multiple states.
Right.
You've also got close to, and near and dear to me, you got one under construction in California.
That's right.
And you've got others in the development pipeline. So I'm calculating you're going to be at least at 90 by the end of next year.
I think that's with what's under construction right now, we're definitely going to hit 90 before the end of 25. And I actually hope to see something a little more than that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, we get a cut in the interest rate in September.
That would help.
Let's say half a point. Okay.
Yep.
We'll take that. That's the beginning.
Yep.
I think Q1, late Q1, early Q2, at least another half point.
Yeah.
So, I think pricing for materials and everything else are going to soften. I think you're seeing.
That's what we were just hearing in the construction panel I was listening to just a minute ago. They're pretty positive about it, and so every little bit helps.
Yeah.
And we've been in a difficult period here, but so resilient. Things have continued to plug along, and the demand for extended stay continues to grow. So I mean, in spite of the challenges, we're in a pretty opportune time here.
I think you are, and I think it's it's definitely a reflection of you and your leadership style. I like that you are open and honest, and you have conversations, and you give your vice presidents and all your other department heads the latitude to do their job to the best of their ability.
Right. Well, it's not a business that runs by one person.
No.
I mean, in many situations, on a lot of days, I'm the least important person in the room. And that's because we do have such great people. They've got a lot of experience. They've got a lot of knowledge. They've got a lot of buy-in for what we're doing. And so, if we can communicate and figure out a collaboration style with every one of our franchisees that addresses the needs that they have and doesn't overpower them with, what our agenda is.
Right.
We find they get there a lot faster, and it's much more rewarding for us as well.
Absolutely. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's also going to be more rewarding for your franchisees and your guests.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And, you had a panel this week. You had a brilliant idea of putting your VPs out there.
Mm-hmm.
These are the men and women on the front lines every day interacting with the franchisees.
Right.
And this morning, gave all of your franchisees an opportunity to get to know them a little bit better.
Right.
And it also showed in a dramatic form, in a good way, that they're all pulling together.
Right.
They work together. They're not in a silo, okay? They are working together. They are helping one another. They're helping your franchisees. They're helping your guests. Your reward program now has, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I think you have about 311,000 members at this point.
Active members. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's been a huge reward. No pun intended. Rewards program.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Growing. It's been great. And one of the biggest things I think that many of us as consumers have an issue with when we're working with a company is the recognition that the left pocket doesn't know what's in the right pocket, and people don't necessarily recognize that national sales department has to collaborate with leadership development to understand what the hotels look like and be able to feedback and give areas of concern, areas of opportunity, that the marketing department is really collaborative with training and hospitality development or human resource development and hospitality. And so getting each department head up there and those strong personalities up there with a lot of experience to show everybody, hey, I'm not just in sales, I'm in marketing, I'm in leadership development, I'm in training, I'm I'm in loyalty, they're all part of it, and
Yeah.
and we wanted the interconnection to be really apparent, more so than it is on a daily basis.
So let me ask you a loaded question. What sets your loyalty program apart from the others? 'Cause you got credit cards,
Yeah,
airlines that aren't sure if they're an airline anymore.
right, right.
They're more about credit cards. Everybody's got a program. Movie theater chains.
I think we're true to form in the loyalty program, as we are with everything else that we do,
Yeah.
and that is that it's simple, it's easy to understand.
Yeah.
You earn points for the dollars you spend with My Place. You have the ability to utilize those dollars at My Place or utilize them wherever you'd like to. So the simplicity and the cash value basis of it is
Wow.
really important. Most loyalty programs, you're earning rewards that sometimes can get you to cash, but there's
Right.
a few steps involved to getting
Right.
there. With ours, it's direct. It's value back in your pocket to utilize on whatever you want. And so I think that, and also, again, true to form and culture, we like to listen. And so
Yeah.
the program is a really adaptive program that hears what the responses are of our guests.
There
It
you go.
hears what they're looking for, and we work really diligently to address those things. And we're constantly developing. So
I love
it's a great place to be as where we are, because we're established. We've been doing this long enough now to
Right.
where we're stable and the base is there, but we're not so big that it's difficult to steer the ship.
Yeah.
We can make moves and changes really easily, and that's only accomplished through the people that you saw this morning on the panel and their willingness to adapt and conquer.
Absolutely. Being nimble and being able to stop on a dime, fix something if it needs to be
Right.
fixed, change it to an adapted market
Right.
and what's happening. I think that's a hallmark for you guys. And I follow you guys very closely. You're the little guy.
Yeah.
You're the little engine that could.
Yeah.
Okay? And you are going uphill, but you're making it happen. You see progress all the time. You're about your team, and that includes your franchisees and your guests. You haven't lost sight of that. And that all starts and ends with you every day.
Yeah.
You come in, hey, what's going on today? What can I help with? What can I do? And that's infectious. Everybody else in your team picks that up, and they get to start doing that as well.
I think when you recognize that everything that you do, everything we do inside of the corporate structure, everything that we do inside of the franchise relations model and inside of the guest relations model, if everybody buys into the fact that those are all partnerships.
Yeah.
This isn't task oriented, just do the work on your sheet and finish the day.
Yep.
This is maintaining a partnership. Truthfully, it's almost a marriage to the business that we're all involved in here.
It is.
And when you recognize it as that, and you're able to work under that context every day, things just happen much more smoothly.
Yeah.
And we're the little guy, but part of being the little guy and part of scaling to become one of the bigger guys is your ability to maintain those partnerships.
Yep.
It's the partnerships you have that last a long time that provide the greatest value.
And that's on everything across the board, because you can help them. You've got a new prototype that's beautiful, by
It's
the way.
exciting. Yep.
That's very exciting. But you've got construction, you've got design, you've got your loyalty program, you've got the people in place to help with sales and education and get everybody on board. And I love the economies of scale, because it is a longer stay.
Yep.
And it's less labor. So there's a big savings there. And and this is me on the outside, looking in, kind of that fly on the wall, eavesdropping. It's everything that you're doing is purpose driven, and at the end of the day, it's about the people, and you're taking care of them. And we met for the first time a couple of years ago, and I'm very proud to know you, and I'm very proud to get to know your company even more. What's the next big thing that you can talk about that's going to come out of My Place?
I think we've been really focused on the growth of the core concept of the My Place prototypes that we've built, and continuing to, like you mentioned earlier, reach that 100 number, that magic number that's out there. I think the next big objective that we have that'll run concurrent and in no greater priority than the core concept is with our conversion brand trend. We're really applying a lot of focus to that in the economic environment we're in today. In commercial real estate, there's a lot of opportunity for acquisition deals, and it's not an objective to change or shift away from what we've been doing. It's an objective to expand the economies of scale that we have, expand our footprint in operations support, marketing, and so on. By accepting some properties into the chain that don't conform to the My Place deal, putting them in their own spot, and really focusing on the value that's intrinsic to each one of those boxes inside of that market, inside of that operating group, and saying, hey, look, you've been doing all of these things really well. Join a partnership with us that will accentuate what you do well, and should bring sustainability to your business for a lot of years to come. So I think that's talk about the next big thing. What will we be talking about and highlighting at our next convention in a couple of years? I think it's going to be that. I think we're going to be counting double-digit numbers between now and the next time we meet for a convention. On the trend side, we're going to be counting triple-digit numbers in greater quantities at a faster pace on the My Place side. So I'm excited about both of those things. I think our resources are really well put together for it. So it's like, hey, we're ready, set, let's go.
Let's go. And you know what? You're absolutely right. I mean, I've been preaching this for a while now that, hey, you got a PIP that came in, it makes no sense. There is no return on investment. So, brand conversions, and I talk to all the franchise sales teams in California and beyond, and they're all going, hey, it's brand conversions. That's going to be our bread and butter for the next 24 months, maybe even longer.
I think, again, a huge opportunity there. And on the My Place side, on the new development side of things, we've got such a wide open canvas, that I think there's, in spite of, again, some of the economic challenges that we've seen, some of the cost and carrying costs and the others that we're always going to be dealing with to some degree, because the landscape is so open for us to grow My Place, because of the size of the prototype, the size of the box. It's a much more manageable investment environment like this. So I really think that now, with us sort of really leaning into the acquisition side with Trend by My Place, we're also going to be able to utilize that activity and that expanded exposure through Trend to bolster My Place development too. So it's going to be a win-win.
Love it. Now, I see. Okay, let's use Mission Valley in San Diego as an example. Okay, you've got some really big chunks of dirt that have some older hotels on them. Some of them exterior corridor, some of them enclosed. So, best of both worlds. You could do the existing one as a Trend, and do a ground up, and really have some additional economies of scale. One GM for both properties and everything else. So
that's been a part of the conversation over the last several months with a couple of different developers who are looking at that, saying, how can I create a bigger scale in my development? And how can I diversify within the same sub-market? And it's tricky. It's tricky because I think, by and large, there's a lot of markets that are under demolished. There's a lot of hotels that are past their economic life, they're past the real service life, and need to go. So then you look at that and you say, okay, how far do we go? Do we go all the way, or do we really? So there's some opportunities out there, but you got to be really selective.
Yeah, you do, because brand integrity. Okay, you've got to protect the brand. Which means you're protecting the franchisees, you're protecting the guests, the financial investments, everything else that goes along with it. I want to thank you, Ryan, for making the time to sit down and talk to me today. I've held you hostage for 15 minutes. I know you got a lot to do today. I'm going to go grab a couple more of your team members.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Love to have you back on Click Connect. We're going back into production later this month.
Great.
Producer Danny's back. She's been on vacation. I have too, sort of. But yeah, so we're getting back at it. So I'm going to go grab some more of the executive team, get some more interviews out for you guys. And please comment below. And if you want to reach out to my place, you can do that by DMing me right here on LinkedIn, our YouTube channel, X, the review, and Facebook as well. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.
Bye.
See ya.